global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Still on the issue of Niger Coup and of course the recovery of Peter Obi's mandate, quote and unquote. Nigerians have been talking, of course, the person of Senate President Godswill Akpabio have decided to go into closed door meeting over the letter given to him given to the Senate by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the issue of military intervention over what is going on in Niger. And of course, CSOs have decided to speak, putting all eyes really on the judiciary over a lot of things. Nigerians really are going through a lot. I want to go through this news very quickly, but before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the right subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Now, for the first time, Senator Godswill Akpabio is getting the first ever big challenge he ever had, but this time around on an international scale. Of course, the senators are ready to go against even Godswill Akpabio if need be, to do the needful. Well, according to the news, some senators have rejected the plan of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to deploy Nigerian soldiers to Niger Republic and restore oist President Mohamed Bazoum to power. Recall that Tinubu, in a letter to the Senate as of Friday, briefed the National Assembly on the proposed military invasion of the West African country and other penalties against the coup plotters in the Niger Republic. But according to the news, the Senate is currently holding a closed-door exclusive executive session to discuss the deployment of soldiers and the power supply cutoff already implemented in Niger. Now, a source said that senators have refused to listen to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who urged them to support Tinubu's decisions on Niger, the West African country. It was learned that the senators are against both the deployment of soldiers and power supply cutoff already implemented against Niger Republic by the Nigerian government. It was also gathered that Akpabio's appeal to the senators to give support to Tinubu's request had fallen on deaf ears so far as the session continued. Now, while giving an update on the closed-door session, the source said the senators are in an exclusive closed-door session now without the press or anyone, discussing whether to use force or military action in Niger Republic. Majority of the senators are against the deployment of soldiers and are even against the power supply cutoff as already pronounced by the Nigerian government. Senators are still speaking, and most of the senators are vehement against any deployment of soldiers in any form. The deliberations are ongoing, and Senate President is appealing for us to endorse the steps President Tinubu has taken so far. But the senators vehemently rejected the suggestion and appeal. Hey, drama is going on. This is actually what is going on as at now, and Nigerians are wondering what is their fate. My colleague is in the house. I want to look at this critically because this affects not just us in living in Nigeria, also affect Nigerians, West African countries, of course the region as a whole, and of course affect Nigerians living in diaspora. I'm sure most of their relatives are still very much living in Nigeria. What's the take on what is going on? I think this is the very first major assignment Godswill Akpabio will going on. This one is not a matter of rubber stamp. If he gets it wrong, Nigerians are gone. What's the take, please?
I think this is a situation where we've always been calling for a non-rubber stamp Senate president. It's very important at a time like this. Now, the first thing that I want to ask Bola Ahmed Tinubu is, how is his communication with the other presidents that are part of the ECOWAS? Have they also seen or have they also demanded an approval from their own Senate to release their own military to go and fight? Because there's how you can act in this thing, and Niger will look at it as if it is a war between them and Nigeria.
Exactly.
And if they will start fighting Nigeria with, mercenaries that they have gotten from Russia and all of it, will we be able to stand it? All of this must be taken into perspective, because if, for example, Ghana is there and Ghana have not sent any letter to their own Senate for approval for them to deploy their own military down there, and you are standing in front doing as if all is so well with Nigeria, we want to send this thing, they will keep you quiet until you deploy your people to stand by the gate, and they will just be watching you. So we must act with wisdom. Wisdom is very important. Right now, the first thing he should let Nigerians understand, or if he have to address the senator should tell the Senate president, tell him to come down to the Senate. Let us talk about this thing. First of all, Oga, show us the discussions that you have had with the other members of ECOWAS. What are their responses? Let's see how far they have also gone. When they start each sending out their this thing, we will monitor them and we'll keep our own this thing info. If they say they have approved for these people to move, okay, we can do it. But for us to stand out and as if we are the main people who are fighting this thing, it's absolutely wrong. Nigeria has done no evil to Nigeria.
No, but then you have to also understand that the Nigerian president happened to be the chairman.
That is why he should be the coordinator of the whole gist.
And that's what he's coordinating.
Yes, but he should not do it as if it is war between Nigeria and Niger. He should first of all, after saying, okay, on his letter, he should say, well, that I have been able to coordinate others. And they have already sent me signals that they have sent letters to their this thing. And we see proof of those letters. And at least Nigerians are in Ghana and other countries. They will be monitoring it because I believe that the issue of Senate is always been televised in Nigeria. Let us see how far have they gone with the approval and all of that. If they have not done anything, the Senate should calm down. These guys should understand that there are people living in those borderlines of Nigeria. And immediately this war starts, those people will be affected. Before we know, we'll be having this camp everywhere, IDP camps everywhere. Before you know, those guys will start relocating from those from their own state down to the south. Economic pressure will start it will be exerted so much on us. And I want to use the opportunity to tell the Northerners also that today it is their own turn, not the Northerners, the Southerners. That today it is their own turn, it is the turn of the Northerners. Tomorrow it may be our own turn. So if Godswill Akpabio and Southerners are supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they shouldn't forget that one day we can wake up and it is the turn of Cameroon. And then the Northerners will be waiting to see what we are going to do. You understand? We have to understand this thing. We have loved ones in all these places. We've got to be careful.
Okay, final take on this. What do you think is the interest of Bola Tinubu in Niger? What's the interest of Nigeria in Niger? Some persons will say, based on what the military junta said, they said there have been the foreign international countries, the foreign countries have been mining their mineral resources, taking it out, and they have decided no more. They want to, that their people are poor and impoverished and suffering. They want to do the proper things so that they'll be able to monitor their mineral resources. Like Farotimi asks again now, if the foreign bodies or foreign nationals have such as interest, then what is the interest of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Judging the fact that Buhari, the former president of Nigeria, ruled for many years, and during his tenure, there have been coup and upon coup. He never involved himself. So why is Tinubu's first assignment, barely 3 months in office, is interested in Niger's, what do you think is his interest here?
Well, number one, if you check our feed, you're going to see a video that have been done about Timi Frank says something striking, that he wants to use this opportunity to declare state of emergency in Nigeria so that they can call off the issue of PEPT. There won't be any form of info coming from that side, so they can concretize his stand.
That's too petty for a thing as magnifying as two nations going against one another?
Yeah, that also will put his name on the international eyes. They will get to know, okay, this is the president of Nigeria, he has acted. They will recognize, up till now, a lot of countries have not really recognized him to be the president of the country. So that may be one of the reasons. But also, we have to know that this is Tinubu. The other guy was Buhari. You understand? And Buhari, both of them reason differently. There have been a lot of talks by so many people, a lot of thumbs up to someone like Obasanjo. During his time, when issues like this came on, he will deploy ECOMOC and they will go there and fight wars and win. So he was being celebrated let me say, African-wise, that President Obasanjo was really up there. So him too, being that Nigerians and West Africans do not really, thumbs up his process of being the president and all of that. He wants to start doing something that will capture the interest of the people. At least let it be that when I was the chairman of ECOWAS, I was able to restore back democracy and all of that. But you have to first of all,
in the
yes,
region.
first of all, before you talk about that, as I did say, charity begins at home. How about down here? Why is it that down here we are wearing civilian clothes with military mindset? Because that is the reason, that is what triggered all of these things in all these states.
Petitions.
I'm talking about trigger all these things in Guinea, Mali, West African states. Yeah, because they sat back and they watched those who are claiming to so much love, the democracy. We are seeing some moves of, military might in their actions. They are not behaving as if it's a government where supremacy of the law should be valued. We see this law being trampled upon, and these guys are making money on the head of poor dudes out there. So that's why they're stepping out. So before you're thinking of you want to fight back and restore back democracy, what kind of democracy are you also practicing down here in your own country? Is it the kind of democracy that way? Because we are still watching. Imagine the issue that came up between Emefiele and the DSS. Up till today, the DSS is still holding him while the court has instructed that he should be released. Based on any kind of this, but they're still holding him now. Now that's to play down on the rule of law. Yeah. The judiciary has been played down on. So all of these things should be checkmate, so that whenever we're trying to go out there to fight, one can be so certain that down at home here we've been able to fix ourselves, at least even not above par, but we are at a par level. Characteristic of democracy has been fully established before we think of showing that we are Baba out there. We really want to restore democracy and all of that. That's just it.
Wow, we could go on and on, but that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's begin our conversation. What's your take? This